Hey guys, how's it going? Zach here. So, after watching the squeaky wheel and trying to process my thoughts and gather my thoughts on the situation, one of the things that I definitely think is worth addressing is the trust factor in this situation. Before I get into that, I'll share a little bit about myself. Most of you know that I'm in recovery, that I've been clean from drug addiction for over 3 years now. If you've watched any of my videos or read my posts, you would know this about me already. And I just can't help but think back to when I was in treatment. When I was assigned my first social worker, I was extremely nervous and not very open and just cautious and just worried that I couldn't trust them. And I can remember I had a similar incident happen after I had built up some rapport and a little bit of trust with my social worker. I had to change because I transitioned from the 30-day program to the 8-month program, and therefore I had to transition to a different social worker. And I had to restart the process all over again of building rapport and learning to trust my social worker, and that was pretty difficult for me. So that being said, I think that Molly was probably having a lot of those same thoughts and feelings, because if she was anything like me, if she's already dealing with trust issues anyway, switching it up like that could really throw a wrench in the plans and really be a huge setback. And I think the social worker done a good job for the most part. I think he could have been maybe just a little bit more, I don't want to say less abrasive, but maybe a little more empathetic and just I think he done a good job. I think maybe if he had his credentials ready and maybe had thought about the introduction a little bit longer, just really making sure that Molly knew who he was and what his title was and all of that. And just I would think in a situation like that, you would want to do everything possible to make them feel as comfortable as possible. But I think that he did show empathy in trying to understand how that Molly was feeling with the change. Because for a lot of people, change is difficult and tough. I know it is for me. I've dealt with a lot of change in my life, and it's difficult every time for me because I struggle with that, and a lot of people do. And I think it's important as a social worker in a situation like that with an unexpected termination. I think that it is extremely important to be patient with your client and to really help them understand that you know it's difficult for them and that you know that it's a big change that they probably wasn't ready for, and just let them know that you're going to be willing to take it slow with them and really do whatever it takes to make them feel comfortable and to build rapport with them. Because if you've already built rapport with someone and you finally broke the barrier of trust and you think you can really trust them and you're being open with them, and then they're gone and you have to do it again, that can be very strenuous and very difficult. And I think as social workers, we all have to be ready for those types of situations, because there's going to be times where we have to switch places, where we have to take over where someone left off. And that can be difficult for the social worker just as well as the client. But obviously, as competent professional social workers, we have to be prepared and ready for that. And we have to be thinking about what we can do to make sure that the client feels comfortable and ready and can be as open as possible with the transition, because it's quite difficult, especially, like I said, if they already have some trust issues. It's going to be more difficult, and the social worker's really going to have to work hard to build rapport and to to show them that they're trusting. And the best way to do that is just to show empathy and try to build that rapport. Find something that you can relate to together, and just allow them to see that you're just another person just like they are, and that you care and that you're here to help. Because sometimes I believe if there's been a big change like that for the client, they may feel like, well, my social worker's gone, now I'll have another one and I'm just another case number for them, I'm just another name on a piece of paper. And I think that helping them change that way of thought is huge in building rapport. Helping them understand that they're not just another case number and they're not just another name on a piece of paper. If you can really make them feel like a person, and thinking back to our values and code of ethics, dignity and worth of person comes to mind. If you can make them feel worth it, then they're going to get motivation from that, and I think they're going to be willing to be more open. But yeah, so that's what I got to say about that, and I look forward to hearing from you guys this last time. Good luck, everybody. Thanks.